I used to think success meant working harder and following a formula. Now, I think it means feeling at peace with what you've already accomplished. What if burnout isn't a setback, but a signal that you're evolving? After publishing my first book, I felt proud, like I had climbed a mountain I'd been staring at for years. But that moment didn't last very long. Almost immediately, there was this quiet pressure, this whisper that something was missing. I thought I could push through it, hop right back on the horse, and jump into book two. But instead, I burned out hard. And when that happened, taking care of myself became the most important thing. And honestly, it should be your priority too. If you're burned out, your well being comes first. Your story can't thrive if you are suffering. Now, I have joy again. I enjoy creating stories and I enjoy being an author. And today, I want to share what burnout taught me about success because it changed my perspective completely. Just because you're not fast doesn't mean you're not productive. We're not all writing 2,500 words a day, and that's okay. And not writing daily doesn't make you less of a writer or less productive. In this content-driven world, being slow is often seen as a flaw. But honestly, slowing down is how many of us actually find clarity. Watching movies, TV shows, and reading books, those are all forms of writing. I'm analyzing pacing, dialogue, character progression, and when I read, I underline sentences I love, words I forgot the meaning of, world building lines that hit just right. Even when I'm not typing, I'm still learning, still absorbing story, still carrying my book in the back of my mind. Productivity isn't measured in daily word counts. It's measured in progress, and progress happens at your pace, not someone else's. Burnout taught me to discover the kind of author I actually am. So, what kind of author are you? During my hiatus, I came across Monica Leonelli and Russell Nolte's author ecosystem. They had a quiz back then, it's not available anymore, but the idea stuck with me. Your best writing life is built around what comes naturally to you. The different ecosystems are forest, desert, grassland, and aquatic. I'm aquatic, which helped me see why certain tools and strategies drained me. It showed me what actually works for my energy and my brain. I let go of Amazon ads, I stopped forcing Facebook ads, and I went all in on Substack. My strength isn't going wide, it's going deep. Email was a place I thrived. If you're feeling lost, look into the author ecosystem concept. Even without the quiz, the descriptions for each ecosystem are detailed and can bring a lot of clarity. Letting go of the imaginary timeline. We all have one. The age-based timeline. When I hit 25 or 30 or 35, I should be here by now timeline. Let that go. That pressure will ruin your joy and rush you into decisions that don't serve you. Focus on what is working right now while you move toward your dream at the pace that's healthy for you. Being present doesn't mean giving up ambition. It means not torturing yourself on the way there. Success isn't about being everywhere, it's about being where you thrive. Burnout taught me one of the most freeing lessons. You don't have to do everything to be successful. You don't need every platform. You don't need every trend. You don't have to say yes to every opportunity. The internet makes it seem like success only belongs to people who are always on. But creativity grows where your energy naturally gravitates. For some writers, that's TikTok. For others, Instagram. For me, YouTube. For some, Kickstarter. And this applies to writing software too. If you love Google Drive or Pro Writing Aid, you don't need to jump to whatever new shiny tool everyone's raving about. If pen and paper works for you, then it works. There isn't one correct way to be an author. Burnout taught me that if I'm not thriving somewhere emotionally, I won't thrive there creatively. Removing myself from platforms that drained me wasn't self-sabotage, it was self-preservation. By shrinking where I show up, I made more space for my creativity to breathe. Consistency isn't about daily output, it's about returning. There's a myth that consistency means showing up every single day, but burnout reframed that for me. Consistency isn't about frequency, it's about return. You're consistent because you always come back, not because you never stop. You can rest, you can pause, you can step away for a week, a month, or an entire season. What matters is that moment, the gentle nudge inside you that whispers, okay, I'm ready to write again. That moment is consistency. That moment builds a creative life. Not the grind, not the streaks, not the pressure, just the return and the devotion to come back to your work when you're ready. Now, I define success as having the privilege to wake up and do what I love. It was the one thing I wanted so badly, and looking back, I realized I had already created it without noticing. It didn't look the way I imagined. It looked better because it fits me. Burnout didn't end my ambition, it just changed its shape. If burnout has ever touched your writing life, I'd love to hear what it has taught you in the comments below. Being an author has taught me so much about myself, and I am truly grateful. And if you want to hear about my honest experience about being an author, the pivots, the mistakes, and how pausing is not actually quitting, you can go ahead and check out these 2 videos that have popped up in the screen here.